Hello.
Ah, fuck my dick.
It's time for whiskey and shenanigans.
Hello, Nation! Thanks for joining us for episode 2 of the 10 Inches Insider. The inside, intimate look at the local scene here in Northwest Indiana.
The region.
That's right. Mike, a.k.a. Big Johnson, to my left over here. I am FNA Rhino.
They don't know who's on left or right. They can't see us.
I don't care, man. They're going to visualize it because I said it.
These guys could see us.
Yeah, the
This is
live
true.
people. The
This
live
is
people.
true.
The live people can see
We are
us.
Facebook living during our podcast, so there's like so much social media going on right now. I don't even know how to handle myself. Mostly because I know nothing of social media.
No.
To be quite honest, I didn't really even know what a podcast was until we did the first episode. Mike was telling me as I was handwriting an outline like I was in high school speech and debate class.
Nice.
That's how the whole thing got started. Just
Mission statement. and
yeah, we had a mission statement written out. We were together on that one. And now we are together here with local legend, Mr. Justin Anderson.
Hello, 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 hello.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you recognize the voice or not. He's played, let's see, every dive bar, club, shithole garage.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Also including our resume at Nude Camp. This
Fucking
guy, came and answered the call. That was the wrong way to put that at Nude
phrasing.
Camp.
However
Right.
accurate that might be.
Right.
that
I
was
can
a little
neither
accurate.
deny nor confirm those allegations.
Yeah.
But he definitely embraced the lifestyle there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, when in Rome,
Yeah.
play naked.
Yes.
Here's what I will say about that. You never feel worse about yourself than when you're wrapping cables and bending over and picking up your gear and you're naked. That's just where that is. I mean, you're.
By that point, we were trying to make enough ruckus over in our corner that not too many people were paying attention.
Right, yeah, yeah.
We were taking one for the team for you
Yeah.
over in our corner.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look out there and it's like, some of these people you want to see naked and some of them you don't. But at least everybody has like better a better idea of, hey, I should probably like landscape my shit a little bit better than like I did.
It's true. There wasn't a whole lot of just 70s bushes.
No,
going on.
not at
Kind
all.
of was disappointing to me because I wanted to get into bush growing contest.
Right, and here I'm like, something straight out of Lord of the Rings, fucking half breed between a
old Frodo balls over there.
exactly. I'm like, it's fucking
Justin
awful.
Frodo Balls Anderson on the podcast tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fucking Russian Italian blood and just fur and fucking music.
He's built for warmth.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had to do my own manscaping too. I'm part Wookiee and werewolf.
Yeah.
Don't we have a video online of you getting your back waxed?
I never put it online.
but we do have the video?
There's a video. I was saving
Yeah.
that for like a special track on a DVD someday when we're famous.
Right.
When we're famous.
I
Justin, how long have you been famous?
You know what? I'm still waiting for it. I would say infamous more than anything.
In what circils?
Well, there's a few Narcotics Anonymous meetings and
Right.
and chronic masturbators.
Are you part of that still?
Maybe.
I haven't
A-
seen you
a
at the
little
meetings
bit.
lately.
Yeah. So no. As far as I'm not a guy who really likes to think of myself in terms of local celebrity or anything like that. I just don't have that head on me. It's not the way I'm wired. I have people that recognize me all the time, mostly from the retarded shit that I put on my Facebook, more than my music. But I definitely have people that, man, I've seen you play, great, all that. But yeah, as far as being, local celebrity, I don't know. I've never thought of myself that way. It's just not the way I'm wired.
How long have you been playing the scene?
Well, I've been doing this about 20 years. I can remember distinctly my first time in front of people was in the basement of Dunlin Pizza.
Chesterton.
Yeah.
Chesterton, Indiana.
They had a
Represent.
yeah, right. Chesterton. And hey, Dunlin Pizza, by the way, still number fucking 1 for Pizza Wars.
Never had it.
Oh my God, no.
good.
Yeah, you're missing. Yeah, you're missing something.
Good
Yeah,
night.
no, go eat it. But yeah, they had a
That's what she
Wednesday night. They had a Wednesday night jam night when I was a kid, and the first tune I ever played live was Alice in Chains' Nutshell.
Yes.
Nice.
And yeah. So for a long time, it was kind of a staple thing for me to open every gig with that, and it was a cool thing, man. I've been doing this a while, and I've loved pretty much every minute of it.
And you have written originals. Have you performed them out live much?
Oh, tons. A little bit less these days. I am writing new stuff right now, but I've got probably 5 albums worth of stuff. There's a couple of CDs back from like the 2000s, floating around that people have, and this and that. They're used to be like a cafepress.com that you could get my stuff. I think you could still get some stuff on there. I think there were actually Justin Anderson thongs on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you
should've
didn't
had
tell
those,
us this
yeah.
before we played Nude Camp.
Well, it was one of those things that were like, well, you pick out all your merchandise, and then you pick your design, and you put them on there, and you don't have to buy anything. Like, you order from the website, and they take their cut, and you get a check for, whatever's left over. You kind of set your own prices. So I went, well, fuck it, I'll just make everything that's on this website. And there was like a pair of panties with my face on it.
Wow.
And one person actually bought them. She was dating me at the time. It was kind of weird, go back to her place and hear
Did you
my
ever
face.
pull yourself to the side and just go to town?
A little bit.
Nice
a,
job.
A little bit. A little bit.
Is that weird or cool?
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah. I'm looking at me going, get the fuck out of my way, me.
Right. I don't want to
know?
make out with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but like the before the foreplay, we're just kind of making out and grinding on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Did you stick your dick in your own mouth? Don't answer that question.
Right. Not without going to the hospital afterwards.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Did we bust out when you played Nude Camp with us? Did we bust out our costumes?
The birthday suits?
No.
The other costumes.
No. All right. We did the superhero thing for all our
Yeah.
shows, right? Well, when Nude Camp came up, I said, well, we need to keep our theme going.
Right.
So I found a store online, Etsy store online. They made us custom superhero banana hammocks, complete with bow ties.
I did not see this.
Oh.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we made it, and I was forever known as Batman.
That's hysterical.
We revealed those, yeah.
And that was the only time that me choosing the Punisher was ever the coolest choice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when your bulge has the Punisher skull on it,
Right.
it just becomes cooler no matter what the bulge is.
The only way it gets cooler is if like you're Mr. Fantastic.
Well, and I assume it was a woman running this thing, and I told her the band name and like what we were doing and using. I needed these for, and I think she took the band name literally because these things were way too small for all of us.
Right. Yeah. No, there really
worked
is
to our
only 10
advantage.
inches between all of us.
Well, we want to talk to you about a couple of things. We talked a lot about our opinion of the scene, and we certainly want to hear what your ideas are about what's going on in today's scene here
I got
in
a lot of
Northwest
them.
Indiana.
I got a lot of them.
Well,
Jesus.
that's good.
Anyone that follows him on Facebook knows he has a
Yeah,
lot of
I'm pretty
opinions.
vocal about it. I've always said Northwest Indiana is kind of, you have the largest concentration in the country of absolutely fantastic talent with
Exactly.
the worst scene in the world to
Yeah,
support them.
we're not. That's what I've been telling people about the podcast. Not to interrupt you, but
No, go for it.
we're not Seattle, we're not Nashville, so we don't get that attention.
Right.
And there's so much talent out there that's undiscovered, and that's something we're trying to do with this podcast. Is
Right.
To try and bring it
In
up.
last episode, we mentioned about how big-time musicians breeze through here, and they breeze through here on our backs.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, absolutely. And the way that I see it, you have certain venues. I'm not going to mention any venues' names. But, you have certain venues that they're like, hey, this big name is coming through. We want you to open for him. And you go, oh, okay, well, great. Let's talk about the details. What's the time slot? What's the pay? What do I need? They're like, no, you're not getting paid. You're getting exposure.
That's what we mean. Yep.
Okay, I work part-time at a vape shop, but my bread and butter is music. This is how I pay my bills. It's how I feed my kids. It's how I keep the lights on and everything. And I've always said, a plumber is going to show up to your house, and he's going to have a truck full of stuff, and he's going to bring that truck full of stuff inside. He's going to use it to work. He's going to pack it up. He's going to get in his truck and leave, and he's going to give you a bill at the end of the job. I'm going to show up to your venue with a truck full of stuff, bring it in, set it up, use it to work, pack it up, and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to hand you a bill at the end of the night. And you wouldn't dare try and haggle or fuck over your plumber. And you have a lot of these places that, they kind of want to do that with you because you're just a lowly musician.
Yep.
The first thing, I handle a lot of the booking aspect. And I've always said playing music is 99% sales and 1% performing. And that being the case, you kind of have to have a good business head on you. And the first thing a lot of bar owners ask, the first thing a lot of venue owners ask, the first thing a lot of your booking guys ask, what kind of following do you have?
Mm-hmm.
The correct answer is none. None. I don't have a following. I have people that will come and see me in particular places because it's convenient for them.
Right.
I have places that book me and book me and book me because I keep whoever is there. I'm not in the business of creating a following that's going to follow me around like fish, or the dead.
The dead, yeah.
Yeah, I mean those guys had monster fucking caravans behind them everywhere they went, but I'm not that guy. And the thing that a lot of owners I don't think understand is that none of us are the Rolling Stones. We're guys in the local scene, and we don't have anybody lined up outside around the corner 3 blocks down waiting to get into your place. That's your job as an owner. That's your job to create an environment that people really want to go to. It's my job to keep people in their seats, keep people happy, keep people drinking, and keep that bar till going.
Yep. Totally agree.
I blame a lot of that on, not to knock what we're doing tonight, because what we're doing here on the Facebook and on the podcast is awesome. It's a really important tool, but I blame a lot of it on streaming. Once we had the ability to go, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to binge watch 32 episodes of Lost today. Why would people leave their house? I mean, I can pull up any concert that I really want to see on YouTube.
Right. It's funny you mention that because a few times I seen you stream almost a whole show live, and I thought, it's kind of counterproductive against everything you talk about.
It is, and I'm really torn every time that I do it. There's times when I do it because maybe I just don't have the turnout in the bar tonight. And look, as a musician, I think a lot of us have a weird exhibitionist thing going on where we really just want to get up in front of people and jerk off. We really want them to watch us.
You're right.
And
there's a bit of that.
Right.
We're all little musical voyeurs.
Yeah.
No,
Exhibitionists.
voyeurs, right?
No, voyeurs watch.
Yeah.
Exhibitionists get watched.
We want to be watched.
What do you think I do every time I don't have to be singing into a mic? I turn right to Mike and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
Yeah, watch. I'm watching you, baby.
I'm watching you, dude.
baby. Yeah, I'm watching you. Watch me. Watch you.
If you've ever seen photos of us playing live, it's ridiculous how many of them are me and Mike facing each other with guitars, looking like cocks pointed right at
totally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel a little awkward, honestly, but
really strange at times.
But my point is, in that kind of exhibitionist mindset, we are only going to be able to put on as good of a show for you as you give to us as an audience. We musicians feed off of the energy that's in front of them, and when you're singing to a bunch of bar stools, or when you're just sonic wallpaper, and I'm all right with being sonic wallpaper most of the time, but if you're not getting anything back, I mean, it's real hard to do a 4-hour show with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's a big difference between doing as you say, sonic wallpaper as a mostly acoustic guy, right?
Right.
And as compared to us, who we're trying to be loud, we would
Yeah.
really appreciate your attention, and we're going to act like complete idiots to try to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know that's a great way to do it. As an acoustic guy, I try to do a couple things, and one of those is to focus on tunes that you totally forgot were your favorite song.
That's what I love. That's what we do. We love doing that.
You know,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yep.
You know,
Correct. Completely.
Songs you forgot you love.
Right, and there's 100 bands in this area, especially for anybody listening out of state, out of this area, whatever. There are a million fucking bands in this area that are going to play "Don't Stop Believin'." Okay, a million of them are going to do that.
Or that smell.
We're
Yeah,
not
or-
one of them.
Yeah, so I don't need to do that. But you know, for example, my band Danger Will Robinson. There aren't a whole lot of bands that you see that are getting out there and rocking "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins.
True story.
You know, I mean, there's not a whole lot of acoustic guys that are going to do Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, 2, and 3. You know,
Right.
and pull it off.
Yeah.
So I'll get up there. I will do an acoustic version of the Four Horsemen. You know, and I'll make it work. So there's a couple things going on here. Is I try and put on a show that you wouldn't maybe normally see with an acoustic guy, and I try and keep it interesting enough that you go, oh, I fucking forgot about this song. This song is great. I got to listen to this on the way home.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I mean, it does take a lot to get the attention of the people in front of you.
Can I just stop
Yeah,
you
go for
real
it.
quick? Okay, little history between 10 Inches Between Us and Justin Anderson. First time we ever heard this dude. This is a great
all
story. This is a great story.
I have no idea what they're going to say.
Battle of the Bands at
That was the 219 bar.
219 bar. And we went in and we had been practicing so hard for this thing. I mean,
We even ran
were-
drills.
I mean, we were talking about, we timed ourselves in how to set up, get the sound exactly how we wanted it. I mean, we had everything down to a science because you
Yeah.
have to in those situations.
Yeah, because they wanted us to. They gave us an hour, if you remember.
Yeah.
An hour to
Hour-long
set
set.
up, play, and tear down. And
Yep.
we ran drills on our setup.
And of course,
tear
we
down.
wanted to have as much play time as possible, so you want to have your setup and tear down as quick as possible. And we were doing it like, what, 9 minutes?
Yeah.
And you guys
Something
put
like
on a
that.
hell of a show.
Well,
You did.
and we just gave our hearts out there. You know what I mean? Like we were out for vengeance.
I'm here for fucking blood.
Right. You wanted a battle of the bands. We're gonna bring you a battle.
Right.
So that was our attitude going into it.
There were a lot of really great bands there. I mean, it was
It wasn't praise.
No.
Martyr the Tyrants.
Martyr the
Tyrants
Tyrants.
was there.
I have one of their
Cool.
patches at home.
I
dude.
loved those
They were
guys.
fucking fantastic. And there was it was like me and 11 bands. And I
Yeah.
was scared shitless.
And Justin Anderson walks up and he starts playing. And it was just every song that needed to be played at that exact moment. The man has an unbelievable knack for reading a crowd. Because before I knew it, I was double fisting whiskeys, like crying my ass off, singing along in the front row,
This
like the
asshole's
biggest
out there.
fanboy, like screaming and hooting and hollering for our competition in this show. And that was Justin Anderson. And from then on, I was like, we got to play with this dude.
And by the way, he won the battle.
Oh,
there.
crushed. And he was crushing metal bands with an acoustic guitar.
Yes.
And himself.
That was a weird night for me. Because,
Yeah.
like, I walked... Martyr Tyrants asked me to play that show.
Huh.
And Dave Rose from Martyr Tyrants, called me up. He's like, hey, we're doing this Battle of the Bands. I know that, that's not really your thing. And, this probably isn't really going to be your scene. And I went... I'm free on Friday. I got nothing going on. Sure.
I need friends.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna watch old Thundercats episodes on my laptop.
Chitara.
Yeah, exactly. And I showed up, and we had like this big meeting, like the day before.
Yeah. Well, it was a week before,
Or
wasn't
something-
it?
yeah, something
Yeah,
like
no, I
that.
remember. I was there. It was my first time I seen you, and I was just
have
like, this
no
dude's
recollection
got his
of this
shit
meeting.
together.
And-
he comes in with a fucking 3-ring binder with contracts and set lists, and I'm like, fuck, we don't know what we're doing yet.
I do, however, remember you coming back and going, guys, we really need to practice for this event if we expect to be even close to competing for prized money.
But like I remember that, and I remember the guy that was running it. His name was Bill, And he was fucking. I don't know why he was so angry. He was like the angry. All right, you motherfuckers.
He was like the fat old Mexican or Samoan or whatever.
Well, he was the owner, but like the guy he had hired to run it was like this like he looked like George Costanza on meth.
That's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was all right. So let me tell you, sons of bitches, you better fucking break down, and you better set up, and you better do it on one foot. Because if you run over time, you're fucking out of here, and I'll take your money. Yeah, I mean, it was fucking weird.
It was like a drill sergeant.
Yeah, it was weird. And I remember driving home going, oh, well, this is going to be a shit show. I'm like, okay, well, all right, I already committed to the date. And I went in there, and I was like second to last. Were you guys on right after me or before me?
Right before
Right
you.
before me,
Right
yeah.
before you, yeah.
And I think Martyr the Tyrants was on right after me.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back and I'm watching everybody play. I'm like, oh, wow, these guys are all really good. You guys put on a great show. And I think everybody before us, no, Martyr Tyrants was on before us, because right after me was like the one band that I want to say put on a great show, but I can't.
Right. The kids.
Yeah. They were like
the emo punk rock wannabe.
Well, they really captured what Nirvana wanted to be. And I liked that.
I do. Oh, you are so right. I forgot about.
Like they were minors. Like they couldn't even stay.
Right.
They
They had to leave right after.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a distinct moment. I'm watching Martyr the Tyrants, and I'm like, I'm glad I got to play, but they are fucking taking this shit home.
I thought that was
Well,
it.
he was walking all over the bar, fist bumping
I mean,
dudes
it was
and
awesome.
like screaming and howling and jumping up on shit.
And then at the end, they're like, Justin Anderson won. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm apologizing to people.
We were just as surprised.
and but for the record, I really think you guys put on one hell of a fucking show.
Well, the cool thing is that the whole thing worked, because I was convinced the same way as you were about Martyr the Tyrants. I watched Martyr the Tyrants and I was like, well, they were good. I just hope we represented ourselves at this point.
And you did,
what I mean?
yeah.
And it was just cool to be in a place where metal and whatever the hell you call our gypsy fucking shit.
No, you guys are a straight up rock band.
Whatever you call it.
That's how I see it.
That's cool. Straight up rock. But yeah, it was cool to see a bunch of different genres or
styles, I guess.
influences or whatever,
Yeah.
all in the same place. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's missing out of the scene today is you either gotta be like pounding nails into your face, angry, like getting scream metal, or you're getting acoustic. You know what I mean? And we really kind of feel like we fall into the cracks somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Our first year out on the scene, we were all, for whatever reason, we ended up booking shows with metal bands.
Yeah,
and we were like the most non-metal band.
Maybe the name, I don't know. I don't know where they were getting these recommendations.
Yeah, but Martyr Tyrants was one. What was the ones that we played with at the Backdrafts? No, was it Backdrafts? Yeah, Backdrafts. They had their CD release party and shit. Decoys, at Decoys Bar. CD release party.
Oh, and they're big time Michigan City guys. What are their names? Good band though.
God, we should, maybe
man. Well, either way, now we sound like idiots.
Yeah. I don't remember now.
What a terrible way to be on the radio.
Looking back on that night, I don't think I had any advantage over anybody, honestly. The only one that I could think that I had was that I had less to set up and break down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
And you had this guy screaming in the front row for you.
I was fanboy. Here's the problem. When you're playing with other bands... Now, it just so happened that we were in a competition, and I got caught up in the fact that this dude was playing, like, Black or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those just songs that had to be played right at that moment in my life, and he nailed it. And I was, like, singing along in the front row and waving whiskey in the air. And it was just like... I get caught up in the moment, you know what I mean? And I guess it wasn't convenient in a competitive sense or whatever. But then there's times when you're playing shows with other bands and like Never Too Late. Every time we play with Never Too Late, it's the same way. We played with this band from Southwest Michigan, Never Too Late. Brian O'Connell's the front man. The guy has a range like Chris Cornell. And
oh, nice.
They are a fantastic band to play with. And I always end up fanboying the shit out of them.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is what I love about what you're saying. I'm generally against Battle of the Bands. I really am. Because I feel like there's enough already naturally occurring in this scene that pits us against each other. You know, when it doesn't need to. I mean, there's enough venues to go around. There's enough dates on the calendar to go around. Mm-hmm. You know, you're never going to fucking be like, I can't play anywhere because everywhere is booked. That's never going to fucking happen. Right. But what there isn't enough of is community in the music community. Right. You know, it's become more competition than community. And I think when you can go to something like a Battle of the Bands and still fanboy it up for somebody, that's fucking awesome. You know, I mean, because I mean, everybody wants, you know, that $100 kitty or whatever it is, but you know,
right? Give me the purse,
right? But having the support from, you know, your brothers on the scene, man, that's fucking great.
You know, and I think that's a really interesting thing to say, considering that so many times when you book multiple band shows in a bar, most of them you're just playing to the other bands.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And so many people don't get that at all. People who come out to the shows where you do have a big crowd think that that's always the way that it is.
Well, you know,
they see one sliver of the pie and they go, "Wow, how cool is that?"
Right, and that kind of goes back a little bit to, you know, what I was saying about you know, booking these shows and a bar owner's expectations. I think that reality and perception are about 20 years apart. Yeah. And you know, the expectation on a bar owner's end is, if I bring a musician in, they're going to bring me 500 people. You know, they're going to bring all their friends, and their friends are going to bring their friends, and everyone in the community is going to go, we got to go see a show. Well, before we had streaming, and before we had Netflix, and before we had cable, and people actually went out all the fucking time, and that was the reality 20 years ago. It's not the reality now. And if you want a bunch of people at your show, you know, don't have a place where it's like you don't even have doors on the bathroom stalls, and you don't have a menu, and you don't, you know, I think a lot of musicians, you know, overlook things like, you know, walking into a place and evaluating that place as much as you want them to evaluate you. I mean, you should be interviewing each other for a gig. You know, you should be able to walk in and go, yeah, I don't want to play here. You know, I made that mistake a couple years back, and normally I'm not going to say the name of places, you know, on the air or anything like that, but fuck this place.
All right, well, this is your place to do it.
Yeah, the Beer Barrel out in...
God, that was just last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If that. It was like last summer.
Was that out in Maryville?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that one.
And I went in there and I talked to this guy, we're going to have a grand opening, and I'm remodeling the whole fucking thing. It's going to be called Vintage now. And, you know, this guy, I'm so excited to have you, and this and that. And I went to go play it, and no one there. The place looked condemned. But, you know, hey, I've got this date. I'm going to play my show. I'm going to be straight up about it. And I went and I played the show, and, you know, I did a 3-hour show, and at the end I went, you know, okay, time to settle up. And he went, I'm not going to fucking pay you. Get the fuck out of here before I beat your ass. And, well, you better start swinging then, dude. You know,
they're shut down now, right?
Yeah. That guy, the fire marshal wouldn't let him open because it was still not up to code. I mean, it still looked just like a crack den.
Wow.
And so he showed up at the fire marshal's house and tried to beat his ass. Now, if you want to make sure that your place never opens,
right,
threaten the fire marshal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so
that's a solid business plan.
Yeah.
However, I gotta say, it sounds like something I might do in a fit of rage. You know what I mean?
Which is why Rhino's not in charge of the band's PR.
Yeah. So if you're listening, Vintage, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know.
Or Beer Barrel or whatever you want to go by now.
But I have played a lot of places that, you know, Jesus Christ, I love playing these joints because they treat you so well and they're so happy you're there, and they're doing, you know, they're going to promote just as hard as you will. And I'll be honest, I'm bad at promotion. I've got so much fucking shit going on. I am so bad at promoting, you know, but luckily there are some places that they just take themselves seriously enough that they're like, we want to make sure that this is a good show for us and for you. Because, you know, as a musician, it's not my responsibility to get people there. A lot of musicians are going to disagree. A lot of venues are going to disagree. But, you know, I've got so much room in my vehicle, and it's all taken up by equipment. I can't pack the crowd in there, too.
Right.
You know, if you guys want to pay me extra, I'll rent a bus.
Right.
I'll rent a bus. I'll include it in the cost, and we'll get 100 people out here. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't promise anybody a turnout. I don't. What kind of following do you have? I have 0. What kind of following do you have as a venue?
Exactly. It's the exact
Right.
When they want to point at you, it's pointing straight back at them.
Right. And
well, maybe we don't want to play a shitty bar that doesn't have any people.
right.
In it.
And a lot of places are gonna go, well, fucking musicians are using a cop out. But no, I mean, look. The Star Plaza, rest in peace.
Yeah. This weekend, right?
Well, I just drove past, and it's all fenced off and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I know. I think this weekend.
I'm gonna cry.
But yeah, I mean, at the very least, they had a big fucking flashing marquee outside for the past 45 years.
Yep.
And you knew who was playing there all the fucking time. They wouldn't have gotten that far if they just went, people will figure it out.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, what are my feelings on the local scene? I think that we have a force of nature as far as our level of talent and the amount of people we have with that level of talent. But I think we're all floating around the Dead Sea here as far as the venues that are willing to support it.
And that's a big issue. Is those venues they're not. They're not on we're not all on the same team with it.
And we should be.
Yeah, the venues and the musicians or entertainers, because, I mean, not just musicians, like we talked about earlier, comedy,
Yeah.
these same venues, mostly like Cheers Pub, right? They've got a great setup.
Uh-huh.
They could bring in comedy acts. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I've played there once, and I like the place.
Oh, it's a great venue to play at, and I mean, well, fuck it. We already brought it up, so I'm going to throw it out there. We might have brought it out before. I don't remember. But,
no idea.
That was one of our first, I felt big milestones for the band, our band.
Yeah.
Was we got in the Cheers Pub, And we opened up a show for a Crowbot.
Nice. Well, you guys played there with
Psycho
Stick.
Stick. Yeah.
Yeah, we did open up for Psycho.
but
Beer is good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
stuff. Go drink some beer.
My oldest daughter, just turned 10 yesterday. All right, one of her favorite tunes to jam in the car is "This Is Not a Song, It's a Sandwich." Okay, so yeah, playing with Psycho Stick. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool.
And the
awesome.
coolest part was that was on my birthday weekend.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Cheers
that
to
was
that.
a special one for me.
Right.
It was Halloween. There was a bonfire that got real interesting.
We went to later on, yeah.
we won't necessarily give all the details.
Right.
But that was
there was a
birthday
donkey involved.
right. Let's just say that it was a Rhino birthday weekend.
Yeah.
It's good.
So suffice to say that was a fun time too. Cheers is a good place.
Well, and you're right. There's milestones like that for a band where if you play a place that you go, this is a fucking cool venue to play. I mean, there's been a few of those, over the years. And I'm like, man, it's awesome that I got in there.
But at the same time, even for a place with a reputation like Cheers has in South Bend as a rock club, as supporting musicians and having big name bands that come through and all this kind of stuff.
They're not on your team.
Crowbot, who went on to play with Zakk Wylde over in England and do all kinds of stuff, and their bass players getting like all kinds of awards for metal bassist. They're starting to get a little bit of a little slice of the pie into big name shit. There was maybe 25 people at Cheers,
And it was all
for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like nobody even knew about it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of funny you said that. Because there was a little piece of the whole beer barrel puzzle that I left out, which I think is hysterical. I mean, despite the misfortune of that, I think it's hysterical. I was working at Billy O's Dynamite Music at the time out in Griffith. And the owner, Billy, he's the bass player for Survivor. Okay, Eye of the Tiger, Survivor.
Right,
okay?
right.
All right, and one of the co-workers, his band, the same night, his band is opening for Fish at Wrigley Field.
Oh, cool.
Billy is playing with Survivor, opening for Styx and 38 Special.
Ooh.
Okay? I'm getting fucked over by the beer barrel.
Yeah,
okay?
right. Oh, that's so
And like
brutal.
we all go back to work Monday morning. Hey, how was your weekend? Oh yeah, we played with 38 Special and Styx. It was fucking badass. It was a great show. Oh, I played with Fish. Oh, it was awesome. Well, hey, how was your weekend? I got fucked in the ass by this fucking shitty rundown place. But yeah, no. Places like that, that really thrive on wanting to be a rock club and all that, I think there's a bit of self-inflicted apathy there or laziness. That putting it, hey, we could be a rock club as long as we have rock bands here. That's not how it works. Yeah, you can be a rock club, but you have to have rock bands. You have to have promotion. You have to have, I'm not above doing things like, hey, can we get the Miller Lite girls in here? Can we get the Fireball girls in here? Hey, can we talk to your liquor distributors? Have some kind of, big drink special. Can we have, something on the menu that's a special? As many bullets as I can get into a gun to fire at the public to get them the fuck in here.
Things that you can mention on social media.
Right, yeah.
Hey, they're, trying out a new local beer at so-and-so.
Right.
Come out to my show and try it out.
A tap takeover. For
Yeah,
example.
something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I do a lot of Facebook Live on the way to a gig, and
It cracks me up when you do that shit too. I'm like, you're fucking driving.
oh yeah, man. See, I grew up in the Knight Rider, David Hasselhoff era, so it's like every car should be Kit. So yeah, I'm like, hey, come on out. I always mention their menu. Does this place have good food? Well, luckily, most of the places I play at have really good food.
Yeah.
Is it usually included in the musician package?
Like when I play?
Like, do they feed you?
Do they feed you?
Some places do and some places don't.
Okay, best food you've had because you.
Oh
were a
my
musician
God,
for
hands
free.
down, hands fucking down, hands down. Journeyman Distillery out in Three Oaks.
I wanted to go there, dude. We need to go there.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, dude, take a trip. Take a trip.
I've mentioned it to you.
This is in Michigan?
It's
Yeah,
the whiskey
it-
distillery.
Here's the
in
funny thing.
Three Oaks.
I just went to Battle Creek to go see Praise the Fallen open for the lead singer of 3 Days Grace. And first off, I thought the show was going to be in like South Bend, Mishawaka. The guy who was driving thought it was going to be in Three Oaks, and it ended up being in Battle Creek. So it was a long day.
Oh yeah.
But
How did the two go and knew?
I really thought this show was going to be in Indy. It turned out it was in New Zealand.
Like I knew
Yeah.
it was in Battle Creek. I told you the night before.
Look.
It's a 2-hour drive.
Let's
Right.
just say that I forgot. And leave
But
it at that.
yeah, Journeyman. When I played there, they had just opened up their restaurant called Staymaker, and I had, and I'm a fat guy inside in like I feel like there's multiple personalities inside of me, and one of them is like John Pinette, just a 400-pound comedian. It's
Right.
like just show me the buffet. But I judge places on food because I'm a foodie. I love to eat, and they had a hanger steak there. And if you're not familiar with what a hanger steak is, it's,
Not at all.
you don't find it most places. Usually the butcher keeps that. It's the diaphragm of the cow. And it's the most sought-after piece of meat in the cow. They're dirt fucking cheap if you can find them in a butcher shop, but it's fucking delicious. It's the most tender piece. It's fantastic.
By diaphragm, you're talking about the muscle
Yeah,
between
yeah.
the intestines
Yes.
and the lungs and all that?
Yeah, the
Yes.
one you use to sing.
Yeah.
The pusher when you're
Yep.
vocalizing?
Yep.
Okay.
The voice sphincter,
Right.
if you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have this hanger steak served with like cheese grits and roasted root vegetables. It is fucking amazing.
Really?
Oh my God, just amazing.
How many of their whiskeys do you have to drink before you eat something like that?
None. I mean, it's like a filet mignon, man. It's not like a weird organ. I mean,
Sorry, I've just never looked at a menu and thought, it's missing
I
diaphragm.
want some
Yeah.
cow diaphragm.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's like, hey, you guys got any fish dicks anywhere?
Right. Fish dicks. That's almost like fish titties. Our
Yeah.
alternate ego when we play open mic
Yeah,
nights.
there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Journeyman Distillery, hands down, some of the best food I've ever had while I was playing. That and Dickie's at the Swan Lake Golf Resort out in Plymouth has really, really good food. Really
Okay.
good food.
All right, I got a question. We asked each other on the first episode, what is the worst thing that happened on stage for you?
I was playing at the Mill in Burns Harbor.
Right there on 20?
Yeah,
20?
yeah. And my parents were from out of town. I don't get to see my parents very often because they live in Florida. And I brought my dad out to a show. I was just getting over being sick, and I was like loaded up on antibiotics. And antibiotics and a lot of moving don't particularly mix. So I'm like, every song I have to like put down my guitar and run to the bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah. That's probably not the worst thing that's ever happened to me at a show, but I remember last year I was playing a gig in Michigan City. It was an outdoor gig for the city. And whenever you play things for a town, like that's organized by a town council, it's amazing how, as a musician, you have an uncanny ability to fuck everything up yourself. like because I mean, just to do this.
Don't I know?
Oh yeah, I mean, Murphy's Law is like after musicians. If it can go wrong, it will.
And you're a solo guy, so you're always behind the mic. I'm the guy behind the mic for our band, so
Right.
I'm on your
Yeah,
level
okay.
with this. Yeah.
So, but as much as you could fuck shit up on your own, a town council will always fuck shit up worse than you could ever imagine.
It's politics.
Yeah. So I get there, I start setting up, and I'm looking around. I'm like, where's the fucking power? And so it turns out I have to run 400 feet of extension cord
Holy shit.
to get to power. Where's the water? There is no water. And I'm in a parking lot, and it's 112 degrees.
Blacktop.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And I played this show because I'm paid to play. I'm not flaking the fuck out. I went straight to the hospital after this show. Straight to the fucking hospital. And I took 4 bags of IV fluids.
Nice.
Oh, I was so dehydrated. I'm like, they said when I got to the hospital, I'm holding onto the wall, like stumbling in because I'm so dehydrated. Yeah.
Somebody help. What happened? I just played an awesome show.
Yeah.
What happened? Rock and roll history.
Right. I'm too metal for my own good. Help me. We've got heavy metal poisoning over here.
Yeah, what would be the what would you have to take, like specifically an IV drug called like bad medicine, like Bon Jovi
Oh
shit?
my god.
Like Bon Jovi's
boo,
tears.
boo.
It would be Bon Jovi's tears that would rehydrate you.
Yeah, there's a fluid that they give you, and it's actually milked from the missing arm of the drummer from Def Leppard. And
Would have 7 arms and
yeah,
sucks.
Def Leppard.
Oh, Jesus.
And no, that would probably be the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It was like massive heat stroke.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
tops me being drunk and saying dumb shit.
Yeah.
Top
You
thing.
ever do that? You ever overconsume by accident because you were just having a bad night and it happened?
Honestly, and this
Help
is
me
where-
out here. If not, just make something good up so that Michael just be like taking it easier on me.
You're
Well,
an ass.
yeah, I want to help you out here. I really do. But this is kind of where I differ from a lot of musicians. A lot of guys get better the more they drink, or a lot of singers go, I have to have a few drinks. Me, I can't sing once I've been drinking. Something
you
about
drink
it.
coconut water.
I drink coconut water or water the whole
That's right.
fucking time.
I forgot. I tried some. It was terrible.
That's true. You did leave a can. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we were at Nude Camp, you left a can in our beer cooler. I don't
Yeah,
know,
okay.
I don't
You
know
did.
how your coconut water mixed in with our beer, but I know how it mixed in with my beer in my belly.
Oh yeah,
I was not a big
it's
fan
an
of
acquired
that.
taste. It is.
It was
Yeah.
not good.
But no, something about alcohol shuts my vocal cords down, and I can't sing anymore. And
Dairy does it for you.
yeah, dairy will do that.
I've really cut out
Yeah.
dairy out of my life since I've decided that singing might
Yeah.
be something that I kind of want to take seriously.
No, I'm going to turn the tables here because I wonder this about a lot of other bands. Are there any like pre-show rituals?
I hide behind a dumpster.
Okay, I cry about the clown that touched me in the 3rd grade.
There's generally always a shot of wild turkey
Okay,
for us.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get sponsorship for a long time. But
Nice,
they don't
nice.
seem to be paying any attention.
I always wanted to be sponsored by Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah,
Or no, that's Yahoo.
yeah, Yahoo.
Well, that would be a cool sponsorship.
But you want the
too.
chocolate drink, yoo-hoo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chocolate water. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because it's not a
Right.
milk. It's a dairy. Well,
Yeah,
what is it? What does it say?
It's a chocolate drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so generic.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, is there like on the
Other
way to a
rituals?
gig? Do you have to like center yourself?
I
and,
mean,
.
I stress out a lot if we're not on a time. I set the timeline.
Right.
We need to be at my house this time. We need to load up by this time and out the door on the road here. And it almost never happens.
But we're close, and we're always on time-ish to the gig.
Yeah.
The only place, but the truth of the matter is, the only place that is really cool with whatever we want to do is Lucky's, and it's within walking distance of here.
Oh well, right on. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just dolly
so-
everything over.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So it doesn't really matter.
But other than the ritual shot before we start, I don't We don't really have one.
We sometimes we try out the Facebook Live video. Hey,
Yeah.
hurry up! You got a couple hours before we get on
Showtime.
stage. You know what I mean?
And then he hadn't done it in a while until St. Patrick's Day. But
Wait, are we gonna admit this?
yeah, yes, we are.
Wait, which one?
Before every show, John would lean over to me and go,
man.
"Hey, let me know how this goes." And I'm just like, "What?"
It was a lot funnier when he had just got started.
Yeah, because this is my first band.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Mike had never played
It's a
an
good first
instrument.
band. It's
Yeah.
a good first band to be in, man.
And so, and I had mentioned on the last episode, this whole story behind it. He would lean over to me before every fucking show and be like, "Hey, let me know how this goes." And I'm like, "What? Are you? I mean, are you fucked up? Are you gonna be able to perform?" I panic a little bit, and then he just smirks and goes to jamming, and I'm like, "You asshole."
Yeah.
But it brought an intensity to your live show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, panic helps a little bit. It's the thing that keeps us alive. We're being chased by a rhino.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a literal sense.
In a little, yeah.
Oh, St. Patty's Day. St. Patty's Day was where I might have blurred one of the lines. Or maybe
Okay.
three of
Okay.
the
Too
lines.
drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in a place.
There was one time when we were coming to the big finish to a big old sign.
Yeah.
I might have been knocking on heaven's door, and we just get too rowdy at the end. Everybody's and every time we play Lucky's, the crowd is so cool. You know what I mean? Like that's our bar. When we play Lucky's, people show up. People party, people drink.
Right.
It's where it always happens for us.
For us, that's the track in Crown Point, the Track Lounge.
Never even.
Oh,
heard of it.
if Danger Will Robinson is at the Track Lounge, that place is a fucking madhouse.
Nice.
It was where we
Nice.
played our first show as a band about 3 years ago, and for some reason, it's always been one of those places that just fucking loves us.
Yeah, Lucky's is our lucky spot. You know what I mean? So congratulations to Lucky's, and you said the Track Lounge.
The Track Lounge.
All right, well, thank you guys for your support of local music. Publicly.
Yeah.
But I guess if there was a place to blur the lines of
That would be
appropriateness
it.
on stage, Lucky's would be our place to do.
Right,
it.
right.
They understand.
The other dynamic though to mention was that was our first show with our new drummer.
Okay.
That's
right on.
true. Yeah, our lineup had taken on a new drummer, and we'd been practicing for months. And our drummer's a natural worrywart,
Okay.
and it just so happens that a whole lot of stuff just kind of boiled up. You know how it works.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
how it goes.
yeah.
And you've got to go on stage, and everybody's got to think that this is the coolest thing that's going on. When you're really going out there, fucking shit, fuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was where we were. Well, that's where I was at that particular night, which lined up perfectly with our drummer's first show with us. And needless to say, it was a hell of a show. All right, so needless to say, St. Patrick's Day was a show that would have gone down in rock history had MTV told 1 million people to show up.
Gotcha.
Basically, that's how we would sum that night up.
Nice.
And I was in a kilt.
And Mike was in the kilt. Which, what's weird about it is that we had a photographer show up to take pictures because we had a hunch that it was going to be a good show.
Michelle
Right.
Polling's photography.
Yep, there you
Shameless
go.
plug.
There's the plug right there. What's your website?
MichellePollingsphotography.com.
.com. Okay, I didn't know there was a .gov. Does she work for our government?
No.
It was never really discussed. And if she does, she doesn't need to come to any more of our shows. Let's just put that out there. Anyway, back on point. Judging from the pictures, it was a fantastic night. And it was a fantastic night because Lucky's understands the concept of pushing the show just as hard as we do.
Right,
It is a 50-50 split. It is exactly what you were talking about earlier.
Well, I've been to enough venues that you pull up and you're not only is your name not on the marquee, but they don't even have live music on the marquee. Like tonight live music.
Yeah.
And I'm all right with not having my name there, but at least you're having music.
Something, right.
Because you'll have like maybe a 10-week old event, hey, benefit fish fry.
Yeah.
They happened 2 fucking months ago, but you're not going to tell people.
Perch on Friday.
Right,
And Justin Anderson.
Right. All you can eat Justin Anderson and perch.
Right.
But if you can't even be bothered to put it up on a marquee, what are we doing here?
Well, let's talk about how we promote. You said that you're not big into promotions.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm real big into promotions. I just suck at it. I by the time that I get around to promoting, one of my biggest handicaps is Facebook. Facebook is a shitty way to promote.
Why would you say that?
Well, I have a reason.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, from posting our first episode of the podcast, I realized Facebook has their own algorithm of what it thinks you want to see.
Right.
And it was about a 50-50 split between who's seen the posts about the first episode of the podcast and who hadn't. Oh, we didn't see it. I mean, the people from MDG, which is I don't know if you've music discussion group. They're
Okay.
a promotion group. They're based in New Jersey, but they're nationwide. We'll talk about that later. But like, none of them saw it.
Right.
And these are a couple thousand people.
Right.
And I'm like, why the fuck didn't they see it? And I feel like because Facebook decides, well, you don't interact with this page that often, so we're not going to put it in your feed. And that's why Facebook is a shitty way to promote.
Well, and along with that line of reasoning, and it may be the algorithm, it may be something else. I'm not entirely sure. I think that because I know at one point, I've got over 4,000 people on my friends list.
Jesus.
And I used to be, yeah, I'm a whore. I'm a whore.
Well, and you've been doing this for 20 years.
Well, and on top of that, if you've got big boobs, you're probably on my friends list.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I probably go, I want to see you naked. Yes, friends.
See, our friends list is like comprised of people either with daddy issues or somebody who just stumbled out of the trailer park.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And if they have
I
big
love our
boobs
fans.
too,
our fans
yeah.
are
Yeah.
awesome. Our fans are hardcore motherfuckers.
Right. And at some point, I was able to put all these people on invites. And I don't know if somebody marked me as spam or what, but one day I got a message saying, not enough people are clicking attending to your shows.
Really?
So we're going to take away your ability to invite anybody to your shows. And that went on for about 6 months. I was blocked
I
from...
remember you posting about that.
Yeah. And now you can put 500 total. That's as many as it's going to let you invite.
Each individual, like someone else, you could invite 500, and then someone else can invite another 500?
I believe that's how it works. Yeah. But if you invite them too quickly, if you click on these 500 people too quickly, Facebook will go, you're abusing this feature, and then they don't let you invite any of those people.
Oh, shit. I didn't
And they block you for like another month.
So we would have to break up all of our people into 1 day a week gets
Right.
100 some odd, whatever.
Right. And so what I've had to do is, let's say I'm playing in Valpo, where I live. What I have to do is actually go through my list, my whole friends list, and individually, manually go through 4,000 people, go, okay, that guy has posted he lives in Chesterton, that guy is from Valpo, that guy's from Portage. I pick like the 3 places surrounding.
Yeah.
And I have to go and individually tab all those in. And that takes all day. That takes all fucking day.
4,000 people.
Right. And on top of that, most people don't have listed where they live.
Right.
So maybe you don't get as many as you want in the invite. And then the people that you do get in the invite, maybe not enough of them clicked yes. And then you have people going, well, I didn't know about your show. Well, it's because Facebook won't let you.
Right.
Or at least doesn't let me. Maybe it's my bad luck. Maybe it's that Facebook sucks. But for me, Facebook really sucks for promoting. And that's why I do like the live video before the show. I'll do like sometimes a couple of them, in that week.
Yeah, we like to do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll try and do that too. Like at least one a week
Right.
before, and then one day of.
And I've tried to get a hold of like Facebook customer support. There's nobody to talk to. You have no recourse. You can't you send an email, you don't get anything back. They just go, hey, fuck you.
Right. Listen up, Mark Zuckerberg. Get on your shit.
Yeah. And
Well, he's listening to the 10 inches inside.
Good.
I feel like, he
Good.
knows about our shit.
yeah, fuck you, Time Warner, or Disney, or whoever the fuck owns Facebook now.
Yeah. It's all the same.
Whoever is currently listing Mark Zuckerberg as their bitch. But when you look at it from the standpoint of, this isn't just a hobby. This is my job. Facebook has really done a lot to hurt my business. I mean, in that respect. I mean, if you were a photographer that really wanted to get your shit out, if you were a wedding planner, if you were a DJ, if you were, something and you wanted to advertise on Facebook, and you did it to an extent that Facebook says, whoa, too much.
Slow your shit.
Yeah, they're going to cut you off. But at the same time, as you go through your Facebook feed, how many advertisements do you see on your Facebook feed
It's
all the
over
time?
place. And I considered spending the extra money to the boost.
You ever see how much that costs? It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, I guess it depends on how long
It's the same
and what.
thing as pay to play.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The more you pay, the bigger the stage becomes.
Right.
The more you pay
Right.
into Facebook boost, you know what I mean? The more they guarantee X amount of people will see your shit. Right.
And that's another thing that I really feel like really hurt the local community. This is another reason why Northwest Indiana and the region is really, really bad for local musicians. A lot of the pay to play stuff. Hey, sell this many tickets and then you can get on stage.
Yeah.
Well, what if I didn't sell that many tickets? Well, you still get to keep my money.
Right.
All the money that I raised for you.
And you don't get nothing.
Right, and you get nothing.
Yep.
Right.
I for as much as I play Chicago very rarely. And everyone's like, man, you should get out to Chicago and this and that. A lot of venues in Chicago, they want you to play for the privilege of playing in Chicago. If I'm going to haul all my gear out to the city, you got to pay me to do that.
Yeah. Put some gas in my tank and
Right,
some drinks
something.
in my mouth.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well,
3 drink tickets.
right.
I'm not going to throw it out there, but a band we know recently played Chicago for free.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you shitting me? Fuck that. I mean, I get that the market's saturated. There's a band on every corner out there. But
The thing is, there isn't.
No?
I don't think that there is.
No,
I don't.
Chicago has how many people in it?
Well, the thing is, I can go into
Chicago as one city has probably as many people as the entire quote unquote region.
right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? So as many bands as there are in the region, you got to figure are in one city.
But to me, when I hear oversaturated, I think every bar you go into is going to have a live band every day of the week.
and
No, but the ones that are well stocked because they're
Right.
all right there.
Right. And a lot of them, you call to try and book, and they go, "Oh, well, we don't handle our own booking. This other guy handles our booking." And you call that guy, and that guy's like, "I don't know you."
right.
Yeah. Well, how are you
I
gonna?
haven't heard of you.
Yeah. How are you gonna get to know me? Here's the thing. And I'm putting this out there right now. I'm putting it out there for Facebook. I'm putting it out there for this podcast. All of these huge bands that you guys will pay $75, $90 for a ticket. They all started out as local bands. Every last one of them.
It sure did.
And they all started out in little bars.
Fucking Disturbed.
Right.
Yeah, right here from Michigan City.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you're not getting out and you're not supporting live music in your local scene, you're not supporting the next big thing. You're going to miss it.
True story.
And what happens when all of your next big things, they all retire? They're all too old to do it. You're not going to have live music anymore. You got to keep replenishing this pool. Keep restocking.
Yeah, and if there's no incentive, then why should young people want to get into it?
Right.
You know what I mean? What are we as bands? I mean, no, we haven't been doing it for 20 years. I've been playing guitar for close to 20 years. But
Right.
that doesn't mean I've been performing out. I mean, I certainly have been playing out in bars and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like that was like, and by play guitar, I mean I learned on a bass ukulele because my hands were too small to handle a real guitar.
Right. Gotcha.
It was a 6-string ukulele from Kmart. What
Yeah.
I mean? My parents put $45 towards maybe he'll do something. With
Yeah. Rest in peace, Kmart.
it. Yeah.
Oh, God,
Martha
yeah.
Stewart.
Oh, wah, wah. Sad trumpet. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing to me because what I notice as you increase in climbing the ladder of this business, your sets get shorter, your shows get shorter, your pay gets bigger.
Yeah. How does that work?
I don't understand. I don't get it because I play a 4-hour show usually. That's a fucking marathon. You have no. I mean, you guys have an idea.
People freak out when big bands play for more than 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Fucking,
yeah.
Well, we
That's
saw
half the
Guns
night.
N' Roses. They played What did they play last year? It was like an almost 2-hour show.
Guns N' Roses played like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it was a kick-ass 2 hours.
I couldn't believe it. That fat old Axl Rose, man, running up and down the end zone.
Running sideline to sideline in Soldier Field.
Yeah.
And Fat Axl was killing it.
Didn't miss a beat.
Now, 4 guys on stage for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You're fucking tired after 4 hours.
The next morning, I feel like I've been in at least a minor car accident.
Yeah. For 2 days.
And I've always said a 4-hour show is an 8-hour day. You know, you got an hour to drive to the venue, an hour to set up, 4 hours to play.
It's like jail time. It counts as double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, after you've driven to the venue, you've set up, you've played, you've broken down, you've driven home. That's 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's an 8-hour day. You know, and it's a fun 8 hours, but fuck is it tiring. I mean, being on stage is physically demanding.
Well,
even just holding the guitar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, somebody says, what's it like being on stage and all this stuff? You know what? Just carry around 10 pounds for 3 hours.
Right.
Just carry it around. Any position you feel is most comfortable.
Right.
Don't put it down.
Yeah. Go find an infant and just carry it for 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They didn't do shit like I do. Run around, jumping up and
every
down.
once in a while, jump up on a pool table.
Yeah. I'm old. I can't do that shit anymore.
You're old. I just turned 40. I don't want to hear.
Oh man, no. I'm a broken, physically old man. I just am.
Actually, my birthday was the day before yours.
Oh. Well, happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh. We're gonna fillet each other now. All right.
A little more drinky drink.
Yep.
Right,
Cheers.
why not?
Cheers,
All
Ryan.
right. Well, let's move this on. We recently played. Part of the whole point of the podcast is to bring light to the local music scene in the region, and that's why we got you on here. But also, we hit the open mic nights, and last Wednesday we went to Zorn Works Brewery, which is a place you play at a lot.
A lot, yeah.
And so let's bring up your thoughts of the place.
Before, can we just set our night up?
Yeah, sure.
This is actually, to me, this is one of those moments that was ridiculously hilarious, but I don't know if anybody else is. Let me know how you feel about this.
No, go for it.
Because you play there a lot, you know how
I love the place.
We
love
walk into there, and the stage is immediately to the left.
Mm-hmm.
And as Mike and I walk into this place for the first time, we hear open mic night Wednesday night. We want to check it out.
Yeah.
We wanna, get some recordings.
Oh
see
shit,
what's
that's
going on.
tonight. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and it's going on currently as we speak.
Right on.
You know what? You can listen to this later on.
Yeah.
You can download it. Get yourself
Shut this
there.
shit off. Go
Right
to a
now.
fucking jam
Go
night.
We're
to
leaving.
Zorn
Fucking
yeah,
Works
right.
Brewery in Michigan City. If you were there locally, it would be a good place to be. But we walk in, and immediately I noticed that every seat at the bar is taken, and it's all taken by dudes.
Yeah.
All the dudes are at the bar. So I'm like, well, fuck. Mike and I are now stuck at a table, which is kind of an awkward situation for two dudes to be at.
Right.
Now,
Right.
add to the
Yeah.
fact
Gazing
that
adoringly into each other's eyes.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Well, here's the deal. So Zorn Works Brewery, it's already dimly lit.
Yep.
They have nice menus on the table, and it's candlelit. And it's candlelit. And there's people on like a mandolin and an acoustic guitar singing. What was it? Counting Cars by Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
They're covering Snow Patrol, and Mike and I walk into Snow Patrol and candlelit tables, and I was like, Mike, don't order appetizers. They're gonna get the wrong impression about the
Get
two.
one sampler plate.
Right.
Well, I
Is there
totally
a
ordered an
sampler
appetizer.
platter we can take?
I was so hungry though. I did order.
Oh yeah. Well, we did order some food.
It was funny was that when our bill came, and the waitress will put whatever notes so she knows who to keep track of.
Yeah.
And our note was not gay guys.
Not.
I was not gay guy number one. He was not gay guy number two.
We made her blow out the candle on the table.
It was funny because we go in there, and here's the thing about Zorn Works. We go in there expecting to be able to taste an array of Zorn Works beers. And on their menu, all they had was a bunch of different beers that weren't theirs. And it was weird.
They're still kind of getting off their feet.
Yeah.
They said that they've been open for about 3 months, and they're still bottling everything they have to do for all the festivals they have booked for the summer.
Right.
So that's why they don't have a lot of beers on tap right now. But they did have
Elston Grove Breakfast Stew
Okay.
or something, I think it was
breakfast
called.
lager or something. It was very similar to a Guinness. So
Yeah.
it was a stout.
Yeah.
It was not a lager. It was a stout.
Stout.
I'm
Very
not sure if
dark.
it was an oatmeal stout
Yeah.
or not.
Biscuits and gravy stout.
I have no idea what kind of stout it was, but it was very similar to
Denver omelet.
It was good. It was really good. It was a little zippier. It had a little more jazz. If you want to talk about Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
It was very jazzy.
I can't do the William J. Murderface so bad.
Oh, I named a cat after William J. Murderface.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, I owned a cat for a while.
Let's not talk about your pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Zorn, yeah, I play there a lot. I'm gonna be there this Friday.
I don't know the date.
Yeah, it's this Friday.
Let me look at a
Well,
calendar.
today is the 29th.
Yeah.
So
Today is a Wednesday, so
Yeah,
Thursday is the 30th. Is there a 31st of this month?
yes, March 31st. Yeah,
March 31st.
First, yeah.
Justin Anderson at Zorn Works Brewery in Michigan City.
Yeah. Show starts at 7:30.
I don't know. This will be out
If
by
you are
then.
into candlelit tables,
Yeah. If you want to hear nothing but Counting Crow covers for like 4 hours,
you're going to do a Counting Crows tribute set?
I might.
Mike, do you want to go? Do you want to get the same candlelit table we had
Can we?
Wednesday
Yeah.
night?
Yes.
Well, the thing is, Wednesday night is half price wine night.
Is it?
So
was.
the waitress is like, because we were giving her some shit about the fact that there's not more Zorn Works on the menu.
Yeah.
She's like, well, Wednesday night is half price wine night. If you guys are interested, and I'm like,
If you and your life partner would
Right,
like to
yeah.
partake in some
it's
half
bad
price
enough that
wine.
we're sitting in a dimly lit bar at a candlelit table at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you bring wine to this table, I'm leaving. I'm not going to put up
Fuck
with this
that,
shit.
man! I will sit there and get white girl wasted all fucking night. I'll give a shit.
Half price wine with my bass player.
I've been saying for a while, I just want to have like a white girl wasted night where like I just sit around with like my buddies and drink Boone's Farm and Zima until I get fucking blackout shit faced.
You know, they might have Boone's Farm, and it might even be half
Yeah.
price, so they might pay you to drink
yeah,
it.
it's got to be all the shit that like your girlfriend in high school like got her older brother to buy. You know,
Right.
Boxed wine.
yeah. It's got to be like Bartles and James and yeah,
Yes.
you know,
Just,
and just all night. But
A quick side note for once I was listening to the finished product of the podcast. The background music you guys might be hearing will be a little bit of recording of what we heard that night at the podcast at the Zorn Works Brewery. And this particular song is by a guy named Jeff Bibbs. He's a local artist. When I asked him the name of the song, he just kind of smirked and laughed. So we're going to call it Where Is Tomorrow. So that's what you're hearing in the background right now.
Yeah.
Proceed.
It's a sample of the kind of stuff that you can hear Wednesday nights with their
Right.
acoustic open mic.
My stance on Zorn Brew Works is they have really put their heart and soul into making that a fucking awesome looking place. It's
awesome.
great, man.
Well, as far as their limitations with their own beers and the menu is not very complex.
Right.
But everybody there is excited to be there.
Oh yeah,
And it's a great atmosphere for live music in that way.
and everybody I brought in has been like, God, this place is gorgeous. Now, I'm told that building across the street with the bubble windows, they own that too.
Oh.
And that's going to be turned into a bed and breakfast.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of attached to the business. So, if you ever have a chance to go check out Zorn, I mean, you go in there, the atmosphere is amazing. Amazing. It's an awesome looking place.
It really is cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you take chicks. If you take dudes, try to get there early because the bar fills up quick.
Right. Yeah. That place is going to be filled to capacity with sausage. Awesome
it's not on the
looking place. Yeah. I played there for St. Patrick's Day, and they had a real good spread for like potatoes and corned beef, and it was like a buffet thing for all that. They're working on building up their menu, and both of beer and food, and all that. I just can't say enough how amazing that place looks. I mean, it looks great.
And the open mic night, they were piped into like their house system, so anywhere in the bar you can hear what's going on.
Yeah, it was kind of surround sound in that way.
Yeah. The place has great acoustics.
If you're an acoustic artist in Northwest Indiana, Southwest Michigan, if you want to drive down and check out a cool brewery, if you were into micro brews, they had like 3? Evidently, there's a cherry beer there that's really good.
Yeah, in fact, after this, I'm probably going to head that way.
We were supposed to get the cherry beer, and we never did, but it comes highly recommended by some of the regulars there.
While we're talking about the whole open mic night thing with Zorn Brewery, what are your feelings about open mic nights?
You know what? I think they're fantastic. I've hosted a few. I've ran a few. A lot of me growing up cutting my teeth was at jam nights. I think they're a fantastic way to test drive new material. I think it's a great way to network with other musicians, and go out there and kind of scout talent. Front Porch Music in Valpo. I grew up on that stage, man. I mean, that was my Thursday night ritual for a lot of years. And Jane Schreiner, who still works the little concession booth down there, just one of the most beautiful souls I've ever known in my life. And I think that when you're coming up and this is what you want to do, when you're too young for the bar scene. Man, your coffee house jam nights, I mean, even as an adult, are just fucking awesome. I mean, you get to see so much young talent.
Wait, you're suggesting to play without alcohol?
Well, hey, you know what?
I know that you say that you don't drink it, but you appreciate the people who do that listen to you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. My job is to sell beer. But
yeah, we're musical vendors.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I wish that more people would go out and support your local jam nights at the bars too. I mean, I can tell you that there are so many jam nights that I've been to where it's like the host plays all night because no one came out to jam. A lot of musicians really underutilize jam nights.
I totally agree. There was a recent post on, I'll throw it out there. Praise the Fallen. Jamie Bostil. We're fairly good friends with him. I feel like we can say that now. He
just opened for Adam Grantier, the lead singer of 3 Days Grace.
Oh, okay. Gruyere, the type of cheese.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jamie had posted that they were going to do an open mic jam at Cheers Pub.
Okay.
I think it was just last week. It might have been 2 weeks ago now. But there was one guy got on there. He's like, "Fuck open mic nights. It's a waste of my time. It's just a way for the bar
then
to
don't
get
go.
free entertainment." Well, as a musician, he was. I think.
Then don't go.
I agree.
Because honestly, look, the other thing that jam nights do, and if you're in the situation where the owner's actually at the jam night, they're a great way to audition for a gig.
Boom.
I mean,
that's the way we've tried to use it. But how much success do you find from?
It's few and far between because.
That?
It's few and far between because a lot of what you find being on the business end of this is that bar owners are very rarely in their places in the times that they need to be in their places.
Truth. Late at night when the music is playing.
Right. They're either A, and super early in the morning.
Yeah.
Or B, they're rarely in their place at all. And I'm excluding all of my the great bar owners that I know that hire me.
I exclude other people paying my bills right
now.
now.
Yeah. You guys that pay me, you're fucking awesome. But I've always said, you see a lot of really bad bar owners doing this. You really do. And you see a lot of really great bar owners doing this. You got to have something not quite right with you to own a bar in the first place. I mean, you got to have some masochistic,
I want a bunch of alcoholic degenerates to pay my bills.
Well,
because that's kind of what we do too.
Right. And I've been in positions where new bar owners will come to me and go, "You've been, bar to bar to bar to bar for years. What do I do?" And I say, you got to treat this like being a shark. Okay? A shark never stops swimming because if it does, it sinks to the bottom and dies. Okay? It has to keep water moving through its through its gills. But if you don't change direction, you're going to hit the shore and die. Period. You have a new crop of 21-year-olds every year, and every year they're going to be different. And you got to make your business different to evolve with that. The guys that have been in the same bar for 40 years, you see their numbers die down.
Yeah, they evolve. It's a great analogy.
So as far as what does a jam night net you as a musician? It nets you a lot if the owners are actually there. If they're not, bartenders kind of rarely pass that shit on to the owners.
Well, places that we've been successful was like Decoys in Michigan City.
Oh yeah. Don's great fucking people.
Don,
I love
stays
Don
for the open mic nights.
I've been working for Don for about 3 years now.
Yeah, well, we've booked a couple of shows, and it was based off of
our open mic.
I think we played, like 3? By the time we played there the third time, he's like, all right, you guys.
I'm over at Decoys the first Friday of every month.
There you go.
Yeah. Decoys, Michigan City, guys.
And a great black and blue burger.
Oh, I love that.
Their spinach artichoke dip, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I've gotten into their onion petals.
Yeah,
Onion petals and whatever that mustard dipping sauce is.
God. Welcome to this podcast. This is 10 inches into your intestine.
We're all up in your guts right now.
Yeah. This is a foodie podcast.
Music and food.
Leroy's in Porter also, that open mic nights, they paid off. We got
Leroy's is another one of those places. There's a really, really, really cool jam night if you're up for the drive. It's out in Roselawn. It's out by Nudie Camp. Okay? And it's a place called the Pour House. The Pour Poorhouse.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. And this has been run by Rubino's Music in a few different places, or sponsored by Rubino's Music. And what this is it's a jam night that's hosted every week by a different member of the Chicago Blues Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
So if you want to go and you're a blues guy, and you want to jam with a Hall of Famer, that's your chance. You go and you jam there, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it's really, really a great time. But yeah, jam nights. Whether you're looking to book gigs or you're just looking to get better, hit your jam nights. I understand what the guy is saying. The places are getting free entertainment and this and that.
Yeah,
they're really not. They're really not, because I guarantee you, these jam nights are not making the venue a lot of money.
No.
They're not. They're not getting rich off of any musicians back there.
Right.
I promise.
Not at all.
Now, if more musicians were participating at jam nights, it would be better for the musicians, and it would be better for the bar. Again,
and that comes back to what we talked about earlier, the venues and the musicians locally, we all need to be on the same team.
Absolutely. This is a symbiotic relationship. If I don't make you money at the end of the night, you don't have money to pay me, and I don't have a place to play next month. Yep. It's that simple.
Right.
So,
scratch my back, we'll scratch yours.
Right. Now let me ask you, and again, I'm going to kind of flip the script here. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. How do you guys approach covers? Like how do you approach picking your covers?
People have already heard the way it's supposed to be. If we can let you know what the hook is, and then do our own thing with the rest of it, and hopefully you accept what we're doing with it.
We're not a jukebox.
Right. Right. And you shouldn't be.
We try to throw our own spin on it, make it a little different. And
you came to our show. You know what I mean? We want you to know what we're doing so that you feel comfortable coming out and dancing. Because, again, that makes the club owner go, all right, these people are having a good time. They're buying drinks. They're partying. We want to have this band back.
Right.
For selfish motives, we want to take on covers that people are at least semi-familiar with. I love the thing about playing the songs you forgot that you loved.
Yeah.
What I mean?
You guys are the reason that I do Another Brick in the Wall. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
That is a cover that has surprised us for so long. It did.
We totally just played that one off the cuff and fucked off with it, and it's like we get the most comments on that cover.
Yeah. I heard you guys do that, and I went, how can I do that by myself? How can I make that good?
Yeah.
And my answer was throw all 3 parts of it into one tune. Part 1, 2, and 3, and set up a different effect on my vocals and my guitar the whole time, like through each part, so that it's one tune, but you could tell there are 3 very particular moods to it.
If you ever need anybody to scream about pudding in the background,
yes,
consider me as your backup pudding screamer.
So, but along the line of doing covers and stuff, how do you guys handle requests? Because now I know you're saying fuck requests and all that, but everybody's got something about requests that irritates them for a different reason.
We took a request in an open mic night situation.
Okay.
A completely wasted chick asked us to learn a Carrie Underwood song. I said, give me 5 minutes in the parking lot. She took that wrong.
Or took it right.
No, that did not happen.
It didn't happen.
Mike and I went to the parking lot, so
What was there an appetizer and a candle?
There was not.
Okay.
We weren't playing Zorn first and foremost.
All right.
We were at Decoys.
Decoys,
It
yeah.
was a Decoys night, and this chick's like, "I want you." What was it? It was the Not Enough Rain in Oklahoma song.
Okay.
To wash all these sins away.
Some Carrie Underwood shit, but
it was
like
awful. But it's a 3-chord country song.
Right.
You know what
Here's
I
the thing,
mean?
like. I didn't even know the song, and I listen to country periodically. John doesn't at all. We go outside, I pull it up on YouTube, we listen to it real quick. Like we're just let me back up. Tracy Glover.
I know Tracy.
She's running the open mic night, and we already played our set for the open mic.
Yeah.
We're drinking. We're in drink mode. I looked over at her, and she's talking to this girl and points to us. I go, oh fuck.
What did you just sign me up
Yeah,
for?
here it goes. And sure enough, she comes over and goes, "Hey guys, can you play this Carrie Underwood?" I don't remember what it was now. And we were both just. She caught us at the perfect moment. We're like, "Fuck yeah, we can do that."
Why not? It sounds like a good time.
So we go outside. We listen to the song on YouTube, and fucking Rhino, he's got the ear, man. Oh, that's a A, C, and a D minor.
It was an
Right.
E, C, G, D.
Whatever
it was. 4-chord country, you know.
It was the Matchbox 20 formula.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So-
Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls, and then Carrie Underwood.
And she's like, I can really hit those high notes, and then I'll sing that song, and we'll jam it. Okay.
She was absolutely wasted off of her mind and could not hit any of the notes. Low, high, mid,
Right.
nothing. But that was the one time that we did take a request, and, you know, we did our part. We did everything we could do for the performance. But for the most part, no. I mean, we take a different approach than I think a lot of bands do, and we do it on purpose.
Okay.
Because we want to stand out. We feel like there's enough people doing the straight-up covers that we want to push our originals. We want to push our agenda.
Right.
You know, we're complete egomaniacs in that way. You know what I mean? We have something that we want to tell you guys. We want to set the stage for you guys to rock out. We want to give you guys a chance to step away from your reality for a minute.
Absolutely.
Because that's what rock and roll has been missing since the 80s. You know what I mean? When music was huge and it was a big event. You know what I mean? And we're not a big event, but we want to play like we are.
And the reason I asked that is I've been working on a list that I feel like should be in a handbook somewhere. Okay? And this list is musician problems. All right? And one of those things is how people ask for requests and what they ask for. Because we've all been in that situation, or at least I have, where someone asks for a request and you go, I'm really sorry, I don't know that.
They're like the biggest Moody Blues fan ever. And you
Right,
have like
yeah.
2 Moody Blues fan songs and it's not working.
Right, but you go, no, I don't know that. And they go, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Come on, don't lie to me. Yes, fuck you. You don't know that? They don't understand that if you're holding a guitar, it doesn't mean that you automatically absorbed the world's knowledge about music.
Right.
So I mean, I think when you've done this long enough, there are certain universal truths, and that's that at least 80% of the people asking you for requests are fucking assholes.
Freebird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're always gonna.
guys.
Here's my response. The last time that somebody yelled Freebird, I broke out a 20-minute kazoo solo.
Yes.
In the middle of the tune.
I'm stealing that.
We made a joke about it in our first episode that if we ever do decide to take on Freebird for that drunk dickhead in the back, you know what I mean? That we're only going to do it as shitty as we possibly can and to embarrass you as much as possible.
No,
because we have the microphones, we have the speakers, and we will use that against you.
No, occasionally somebody will ask me for a request, and it's a fucking kick-ass tune. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that shit right now. Or I'm able to go, you know what, I don't know that one, but I'm going to get you real close. Yeah. Right.
Like the one-off colognes.
Yeah. So,
if you like such and such, you'll love what I'm about to say.
Right. If you're a fan of Calvin Klein, you'll really like this ham sandwich. As far as, I was asking, how does the relationship with a lot of other musicians? I get along really well with a lot of other musicians. I find, though, there's a lot of them that really don't like me. And I don't know why that is. Like, whether it's like a competition thing or whatnot, but, it kind of goes back to, I was saying, I really want to see more community. I started, and I don't know if you guys are actually members of this. I started a group on Facebook about a year ago called the Northwest Indiana Musicians Alliance.
Yeah, I'm on it. I think Rhino was at one point, but he's been in Facebook limbo, in and out. So
I keep logging out and not remembering my
Yeah.
password. And
Yeah.
oh,
We need your blood sample and retinal scan. We
Right.
can't let you back
need
in.
3 forms of foreign identification.
Right.
It's like, I don't have this.
Well, the whole point of the Northwest Indiana Musicians Alliance was to create a discussion board for, what are some great places to play? What are some tips? At one point, I was asking people, you're sick right before a gig. What are some tips for, last minute, I gotta get my voice back into shape. I'm losing my voice, all this shit.
Whiskey, lemon, and honey, right?
Well, sometimes, what are good gear recommendations? What are your experiences with places? It really turned into everybody just like, come see my band at this place. It's great that you guys are advertising your shows. What I really want is a community of
Right.
people, of musicians talking to each other, about what you're doing and the business of all this.
it didn't really take off on that group.
It didn't take off at all.
No, you're right.
And that's kind of my point. I want us to be a community. I make a lot more money and I have a lot more success shaking hands than anybody ever has cutting throats.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
And however you want to phrase it, it's easier to catch flies with honey than vinegar or whatever
Right,
it is.
right. It works.
What?
Hey, you know what? Listen to China. They got some great things to say. I'm pretty sure it's a profit.
For the record, it works really well with shit. They love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that we're doing something like this podcast. I think it's.
Well, it correlates. If you're listening right now, check out his page on
Yeah.
Facebook. What is it again?
If you just find me, Justin Anderson, I'm probably, spread across a bearskin rug, wearing a Speedo or something. I don't even know what my profile picture is. But yeah, I talk a lot about, where I'm at and when I'm there. So yeah, it's pretty easy to find me.
Do you have anything else other than Facebook, or is that your main?
That's the main thing, and it's mostly because I'm fucking social media lazy. Unless it's me like, posting memes about poop. It's
There's no Twitter. There's no.
no. You know what? Look, Trump ruined Twitter for me. All right. So I'm staying away from.
Participate in this tweet madness.
Right. Exactly. He gave Twitter AIDS.
Shit. I didn't realize.
So yeah, but that was part of what that was. Musicians telling each other, "Hey, what luck are you having promoting this way or that way?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we've done everything from putting slutty chicks on our flyers to doing Facebook videos.
It works. Yeah.
We, like I mentioned it in the first episode. I had sex with a deep dish pizza. True story. From one foodie to the other. We were doing a show in Chicago, so we wanted to play on the deep dish pizza
Right.
thing, and it was also at a time when 50 Shades of Grey was really hot, and we also pulled in like an American Pie.
Yeah.
You can see how the whole video came together.
Yeah.
If you
It's
use
on
your
YouTube.
artist's eye.
Just check YouTube out.
Yes.
The 10
Yeah.
inches between us.
So,
YouTube.
the way that you take on the philosophy of playing songs that you forgot that you loved, we take on that philosophy with how we advertise. We want to do things other bands aren't willing to do.
Right. Yeah.
You
absolutely.
gotta be shocking. You gotta stand out in a certain way because outside of getting to the place where you have a street team of people passing out flyers, 2 hours before you go on stage.
Right.
On the street for people who are passing by when you're playing in a big place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which, how often is that?
Right. I
what's
think the last time I
ratio
saw it
of
was like
playing
Lucky
a-
Boys Confusion, like in
Right.
early 2000s.
Right. That doesn't go on so much.
No.
So it's difficult to know how to really push yourself. But for the guy who's complaining about the open mic nights and the free shows, how much success did you get from
staying home? How much did you get from staying home? I mean, for the guy complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, yeah, you got your 2 cents in about bitching, but at the end of the night, did you get to play?
Right.
Did you play a lot of free shows in the beginning to get where you are now, where you are able to make a majority of your living off of music?
Yeah, absolutely. I did a lot of, I paid a lot of dues playing jam nights and stuff like that, and there were a few.
I'm talking about nights that were just you.
Yeah, there were
go
definitely
to
some of
bars
those.
and say, you know what, just give me a chance to get the stage.
I'll play for tips.
Right.
That's what I did for a long time. I did a lot of buskering when I lived in Bloomington.
That's a fancy word. Can you
Yeah.
explain that, please?
Oh man.
Jesus,
Look, do you see me? The people
busking
who
is
are
when you
listening-
go on the streets of, say, Chicago, and you just play.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. When I lived in Bloomington years ago, there was a street corner at the in front of the Jimmy John's on the corner of Kirkwood and Dunn, across from a place called People's Park.
So you were playing and getting free smells.
Yes. Yes, and a lot of free drinks because there was a bar right upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah. But I would pay my rent that way, easily.
Wow.
There were a few places that I would go in and say, I'm gonna play tonight for free. If I do well, I want bookings out of this, and sometimes that worked. There were a lot of little street festivals, that I would just show up and play. There were a lot of places I would play just for tips. What really kind of got me back into doing this for a living was I was working as a counselor in an inpatient psychiatric facility. And when I left, I was like, fuck, man, what am I going to do? And I started thinking about, playing gigs again. I went, you know what? I made what I make in a week in a night. Why don't I just do this fucking every night? And, as it turns out, years ago, I handled booking and management for a band called Musical Saw. And they were from right here in LaPorte. They were a fantastic band. But I had the philosophy that to handle booking and play regularly, you had to treat booking like a 9-to-5 job. 5 days a week, from 9 to 5, you had to be pounding the pavement looking for gigs. And that was your work day. Your payday was the gig. And the guy I was working for, the front man of the band, thought that was just a stupid idea. That's fucking stupid. I just want to sit at home and drink and play video games. And
That's what I do right now.
and I still book them a lot of shows. I still, got, a lot of gigs for those guys. But once I struck out on my own, I quit playing music for like 4 years. Because, the experience of that, and kind of being the whipping boy for this band, that I respected so much, kind of demoralized me. And so when I decided to get back into this and back into the business aspect of it and everything, I told myself I was going to use this as a lesson for everything not to do. All the things that I were told were stupid ideas, that's what I was going to do. And it served me pretty well so far. I mean, I play a lot. And I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a celebrity. But I play a lot, and I get to play a lot because I do things like I don't cut the throats of other bands. I don't, sit around and shit.
So much
Right.
nowadays.
At the time that this guy's philosophy was, we're going to take this over like territory. Why? Do you think that you could play every place every night of the week? How many places?
Walk into the bar snapping.
Yeah, like crazy, cool. The bottom line is, if you treat this scene right and you're a good neighbor to the rest of your musician brethren, you'll be fine. Just don't be a douche.
Don't be a douche. That is the moral of the story.
The moral of today's story is don't be a douche. Put that in italics with quotation marks. Put a tilde after it.
Yeah.
Justin Anderson's name.
Yeah.
Even better italics afterwards.
What's a tilde?
It's the little squiggly line.
A
that goes
little like
after the-
apostrophe above a letter.
Okay, we're even. You didn't know what buskering is. I didn't know what a tilde was.
That's
All right, cool.
All right,
I'm going to drink this.
We all learned stuff. Guys, this has been the 10 Inches Insider. We have been here tonight with Justin Anderson from Northwest Indiana. He is rocking the acoustic scene most of the time.
Yep.
He's also out with Danger Will Robinson.
Yeah.
So if you ever see that name on the bill, make sure you check it out. This guy has been on the scene for a long time. From the times we played with him, he's got it going on. Absolutely check his shit out. Visit his Facebook. See when he's playing live. He's booked somewhere all the time.
Definitely going to have a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Whether you're by yourself or whether you're taking a date or whether you got a whole group of friends going out, it's going to be a good time being with him. Justin, for all the local musicians who wish they could just support themselves playing music, give us a story as to the reason that you keep doing this every night.
Because I'm such a compulsive personality that I'm such an obsessive personality at this point. I'm too far in to do anything else. If I quit doing this tomorrow, I have no fucking clue what I'd do. Just know I'd just lose my mind. This is my crank. This is what I'm shooting into my arm all the fucking time is booking and playing. So, but I want to say likewise, if you guys have a chance to see 10 Inches Between Us, yeah, absolutely. Do yourselves a favor. Go get 10 inches between them.
And save cab money because we do push you to new limits.
Yeah. Yeah, get an Uber.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you get that on speed dial. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We're going to wrap it up because we've been super long tonight because Justin has so much to add to all of this. Justin, thanks so much.
Sorry to run on. Hey, thank you guys for having me. Hey, Facebook Live, 10 Inches Between Us. Hope you guys enjoyed these guys.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Facebook Live, hey guys on our podcast. Stay tuned for what we got going on next time. Who knows what it's going to be? Obviously, you see what we've done tonight. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. We love you guys. Thanks for following us. Hit up Justin Anderson on Facebook. Follow him, see what he's doing, and support local music. And in the fine words of Justin Anderson in Party Tonight, don't be a douche. Long live the nation, guys. Good night. Thank you so much.